Live from Tulsa's Channel 8, your News at 10 starts now.
Glad to have you with us tonight. I'm Brenna Rose. An evening of wild weather that brought with it heavy rain, strong winds, and a lot of hail. Our News Channel 8 engineer Steve capturing this drone footage of that weather system overlooking the Tulsa metro. From our view, you can see that cloud formation. It almost looks like a donut, and bands of heavy rain falling beneath it. Meteorologist Kirsten Lang is here now with the very latest forecast.
From the Oklahoma Ford Storm Center, your first warning forecast, certified as Tulsa's most accurate weather.
Yeah, things have definitely quieted down now across the area. As you look out over our radar, we are seeing just one severe warning storm just south of us, south of even Okmulgee at this point. Moving down to the southeast, closer towards Chakota, this one, possibility of some smaller hail and then gusty winds. But overall, all of this activity really starting to dwindle down, and it's going to be a quiet night tonight. Here in Tulsa, no threat for seeing any more showers or thunderstorms. We'll look for another chance for rain, though, as we head into Saturday night and Sunday. But for this evening, again, things are quiet for us. Our temperatures are in the 50s, 60s, and then even low 70s. Poto is at 71 degrees. It's 63 in Tulsa right now, seeing 59 from Coffeyville through Bartlesville and over towards Pawhuska. Still some wet roadways out there, but again, things looking a lot better for us. Now, the highs this afternoon were up into the low to mid 80s. It was a warm one out there after seeing temperatures below average yesterday. Of course, we soared above average today, and we're going to be looking for that again tomorrow as those temperatures once again get back up into the 80s before our next front moves through on Saturday night. Tonight, though, we will see those lows drop into the 50s with an overnight low closer to around 58 degrees. And then for tomorrow, again, starting off in the 50s, but then warming up back into the 80s with that chance of showers and storms once again developing late on Saturday, going into Sunday, and another threat for severe weather with this system as it moves through. So we'll talk more about what that looks like for you in the full forecast coming up in a few minutes.
Well, here's more video from our Oklahoma sister station of some of that hail. As you just heard there, drilling into yards, homes, and cars. It's still not clear the exact extent of the damage from the hail. And make sure to download the News Channel 8 weather app. Search KTUL-WX in your phone's app store. Tulsa County Sheriff's Office releasing new details of a traffic stop that led to a large methamphetamine bust. Deputies say with the help of a canine, they were able to sniff out a package that held about 7 pounds of the substance in it. The driver, 45-year-old Candace Williams, was taken into custody and booked into the Tulsa County Jail on felony drug charges. A former Oklahoma 1st Assistant District Attorney was sentenced today for possession of child sexual abuse material. The Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation Internet Crimes Against Children Unit received a tip in September of 2022. Investigators identified 56-year-old Kevin Etherington as a possible suspect. At the time, he was serving as the 1st Assistant District Attorney for Payne and Logan counties. He was later charged with aggravated possession of child pornography and violation of the Oklahoma Computer Crimes Act. Today, he learned that he will serve the next 20 years in the Oklahoma Department of Corrections. A former president and CEO of a failed Oklahoma bank pleading guilty to 1 count of bank fraud. On Wednesday, former president and chief executive officer of First National Bank of Lindsay, Danny Seibel, entered that plea. Seibel caused the bank to issue loans to certain customers, many of whom were his personal friends, and that those borrowers never repaid those loans. He then manipulated the bank's records. He is facing up to 30 years in prison and a fine of up to $1 million. His sentencing has not yet been set. Well, the fallout from a cyber breach is continuing to disrupt the day-to-day for schools and universities in Oklahoma and across the country. As News Channel 8's Emma McAndrews reports, about 50% of universities across North America rely on this program, including OU and OSU.
Sure says on April 29th, they detected unauthorized activity and started investigating and revoking access. But Thursday, they detected another breach. This is what caused students to receive this message when they opened their Canvas accounts. A group called Shiny Hunters was claiming responsibility for the breach, saying schools have until end of day on May 12th to negotiate a settlement or data from the site would be leaked.
They went in, waited till you're going into finals, and then decided to hit 9,000 educational institutions simultaneously.
Ron Vaughn, an IMSCO Solutions cyber specialist, says that the breach included the collection of millions of data records.
They uploaded like 4.6 terabytes of data, which is millions and millions of data records. So it's a lot of data. All these personal records are worth money on the dark web.
Students at OU say it interrupted their ability to study for finals.
So it kind of screwed us all up. We couldn't study for exams. I have a test today actually, later in an hour, that I just couldn't study for at all, which sucked.
I couldn't do anything on the online side nor the phone Canvas application. And yeah, it was the tiniest bit upsetting, given that I was in the great reading room trying to lock in, academic comeback of the century.
And although OU says Canvas is working again, some students say they're still having trouble.
It was totally fine for me today, so I was able to study and get good, probably 3 hours in studying before this test.
It's working on my phone, but not my laptop.
Although this data has been breached, Vaughn says there are ways to protect yourself in the future.
Most important thing is have two-factor authentication put on to where you have to authenticate with your phone and a good password. If you're using the password you were using into your Canvas account anywhere else, it's time to change it.
Now, Emma did reach out to Instructure to ask exactly how the situation was resolved and if a ransom was paid. They did send a statement back but did not answer those questions. The city of Coweta is continuing to face questions about transparency and accountability. Residents are now pushing for a special election to fill the vacant Ward 3 City Council seat. It became vacant after former Councilman Joshua Wilburn resigned back in April following weeks of public frustration over the failed Project Atlas data center proposal.
I was looking at it from the city council's viewpoint, with all of the static and all of the crap that you guys had to put up with for the last 3 or 4 months. I wouldn't want to be appointing anything. I'd want to make a vote and say, you people are the one that caused this problem, not us.
Under the current timeline, someone appointed to the seat could serve for about 10 months before the next election. A special election would put someone in that role for only around 4 months. Well, for years, some Tulsa City Council members have raised concerns about 911 response times. Now, the Tulsa Police Department is sharing new data on how the system works and why some calls take longer than others. The department has responded to more than 55,000 calls so far this year. Each one is ranked out of 9 based on urgency. Officials say life-threatening emergencies like shootings or abductions get a faster response time than things like property crimes.
Different calls have different priorities, different response times. So there's a big difference between a response time in, let's say, a shooting that happened versus a burglary report.
Staffing also plays a role in response times. TPD currently has around 830 sworn officers, but officials say the department should have 941. The Oklahoma Senate didn't take up bills for 2 days this week, even as the House continued. Senate Pro Tem Lonnie Paxton is now responding to criticism over that move. News Channel 8's Capitol reporter Paige Taylor has the details.
Yeah, we get accused of not doing our job, not working. We just did it more efficiently.
Senate Pro Tem Lonnie Paxton responding to criticism due to the Senate not taking up legislation on Wednesday or Thursday this week. The House considered legislation Monday through Thursday with a late night on Wednesday.
If the Senate was conducting business today, our staff could have went home once we wrapped up our business last night, and we could have completed our work this morning, this afternoon, and the Senate could have received that. But because of their decision not to have a legislative day today, our staff was here until 3 a.m. this morning.
Our staff was here too. We had to wait for them to get their stuff done and get it sent over to us. If they had done their work in a more timely manner, they wouldn't have any necessary to be here that late.
Senate Republicans in the Freedom Caucus held a press conference on Wednesday afternoon criticizing the decision for the Senate to not be on the floor Wednesday or Thursday.
The Oklahoma Freedom Caucus showed up today to do the work of the people. Lonnie and his team decided they wanted to have a vacation day instead, and have decided to take vacation tomorrow as well.
Paxton says the Senate has worked more efficiently than the House.
When you look at the actual amount of time spent on the floor, from spring break until even with their marathon days, the Senate still outpaced the House. The Senate still had more numbers than the House had. And so if they had spread their time out more efficiently, maybe not have been out of state golfing, maybe working those days instead, maybe there would have been absolutely no need to have a late night session where you had, once again, quoting, bleary and weary lawmakers making decisions on laws that affect everyday lives of Oklahomans.
And that was Paige Taylor reporting. The agreement between the House and Senate from earlier this week was that both chambers would adjourn by 5 p.m. next Thursday. The legislature has to adjourn by the last Friday in May each session. Still to come here on News Channel 8, the race to redraw congressional maps in the wake of the Supreme Court's landmark decision. Why the ongoing gerrymander jamboree may make American politics even more polarizing.
And storms are moving out this evening, but we're expecting more showers and storms again Saturday night late into Sunday. We'll talk about that and your Mother's Day forecast. That's coming up after the break.
A major political headline: another state is redrawing its congressional map. But the balance of power in Washington at stake, the push to gerrymander, is hitting a fever pitch. And as ABC's Andrea Fuji reports, the consequences could be far-reaching.
This morning, the nationwide race to redraw congressional maps for partisan advantage ahead of the midterm elections has shifted into high gear. Tennessee has become the latest state to approve a redistricting plan. Republicans voting to carve up the state's only majority black district, the only district in the state held by Democrats.
Tennessee is a conservative state, and I submit its congressional delegation should reflect that.
The move sparking protests, the NAACP already suing to stop it.
You cannot take a majority black city, fracture its voting power, and then tell us race has nothing to do with it.
A recent Supreme Court decision which weakened Voting Rights Act protections for minorities had supercharged the push to redraw maps, with the narrow balance of power in Washington hanging in the balance.
The Supreme Court decision is now precedent, and what Tennessee did today is now the playbook moving forward. We're going to see it. We're already seeing movement in a number of southern states.
South Carolina may be next. Lawmakers are pushing to redraw the district held by powerful Democrat Jim Clyburn, who claims Republicans are trying to break apart South Carolina's 6th district, not because voters demanded it, but because Donald Trump requested it. Supporters of the move say because South Carolina is trending more Republican, the districts should be redrawn.
It's about doing the right thing. South Carolina is a ruby red state. I believe that any way we draw the maps, that will show through.
Louisiana and Alabama are also taking steps toward redistricting. Blue states, too, including California and Virginia. Critics argue this gerrymandering will only make our national politics more polarized. Andrea Fuji, ABC News, New York.
From the Oklahoma Ford Storm Center, your first warning forecast, certified as Tulsa's most accurate weather.
All right, well, it was a little bit of a rocky Friday night for us. Of course, right around that 6 to 7 o'clock hour, those showers and storms moved through Tulsa County. Maybe you just had a nice kind of quiet evening in at the house with all these showers and storms. Now, though, of course, at your 10 o'clock hour, things are quiet. There's still a couple of little showers left over, I should say, here across the map. But overall, things are looking much better. Again, in and around Tulsa County, it's quiet. Okmulgee, there's just a little light shower now left for you. And again, it's quiet in Midtown, downtown, down towards Jinx and Broken Arrow. So looking pretty good. And overnight tonight, things are going to be quiet for us as well. Clear skies, temperatures are in the low 60s, winds are light. They're coming in from the south-southwest right now, sustained at 9 miles per hour. We're going to be looking for those temperatures to drop this evening into the 50s. But right now, we're seeing mainly 60s here in Green Country, with a couple of upper 50s from Pawhuska through Bartlesville. Coffeyville's at 59. Again, it's 63 here in the Tulsa Metro, 63 also over in Wagner. Now, today's highs actually got up into the low to mid 80s. It was a warm day, so our average high this time of year still is 77. We hit 83 today. Tomorrow, Similar, we're going to continue to see those temperatures back up into the low to mid 80s by the afternoon. We're going to start off, though, with temperatures dropping into the 50s. So tomorrow morning as you wake up, you'll see upper 50s and low 60s. And again, by the afternoon hours, it should be warmer than average. We'll get a change, though, by Saturday night into Sunday as a front moves through. Again, for the rest of the night, it is quiet. You're going to see those clear skies then as you head into the early morning hours of your Saturday. Saturday start off with partly cloudy to mostly clear skies, but by Saturday late, the chance for showers and storms and possibly more severe storms picks up late on Saturday into early Sunday. And so that severe threat then shifts down towards the south and southeast as these storms move across the area. Damaging winds, gusty winds, I should say, damaging hail. Those are really the two main threats with these storms if they become severe, much like what we saw today. So here is Saturday at around 10 to 11 p.m. Showers and storms mainly pushing towards the south, but you start to get a few of those that develop up towards the north. Then by 6 a.m. on Sunday morning, we see more showers and more rainfall move through the area here in Tulsa County and in northeastern Oklahoma. So this is about 9 a.m. Those showers kind of linger through the first half of the day into even maybe the early afternoon hours before it finally starts to move out, which just means that for your Mother's Day on Sunday, it's going to be a little bit of a wet one, at least to start. We're going to expect those showers to be across the area for the morning. Again, that should last through at least midday. Those temperatures are going to be staying in the 60s. Again, it's going to be cooler, and then we'll be looking for that all to clear out by the start of next week. For tonight, again, those temps drop down to around 58 in Tulsa with some low 50s just up towards the north. Tomorrow, you'll see those afternoon highs back up in the 80s. And again, that chance for showers and storms picks back up as we head into Saturday night, into Sunday morning. Mother's Day for you there on Sunday. We're going to be looking for showers and storms to start, and it starts to peter out just a bit, and then sunshine returns with temperatures staying a bit below average for Sunday, Monday, and then we're back up into the upper 80s by Tuesday of next week.
Well, ABC is pushing back against the Trump administration in a new FCC filing. The network says efforts targeting The View could restrict protected free speech. The dispute stems from an FCC review made public today into whether the show qualifies as a bona fide news program and is exempt from equal time rules. The rules require broadcasters to give comparable airtime to competing political candidates. ABC argues The View has held that exemption for more than 20 years. The FCC's decision could reshape how political content is aired on similar programs. Among the most popular gifts for moms this Mother's Day, special outings, cars, and flowers. But this year, those might cost you a little bit more. Maribel Gonzalez visited the country's largest wholesale flower market to find out what's driving those prices and how much more you can expect to spend on petals this year.
Mother's Day consumer spending is expected to reach a record $38 billion this year. That is according to a survey by the National Retail Federation. Shoppers will spend an average of around $284 on mom, even in the face of rising prices.
I've been working here 11 years already.
Ana Mendoza, a longtime florist at this wholesale flower market in downtown Los Angeles, has seen her fair share of changes in the industry.
Little by little, every year, different prices.
This year is no exception.
And how much are these?
This one, they're $70.
$70. How much were these last year?
Last year, they were like $50.
So $20 more.
Florists here point to a rise in gas prices due to the war in Iran and President Donald Trump's tariffs as the biggest contributors.
We have products that fly in from Ecuador, Colombia to Miami, and then they're driven from Miami to Los Angeles by truck. So the fuel cost is extremely expensive right now, and it affects the cost of the flowers.
And it's not just the flowers that are costing more. Vendors say the materials they use to make these arrangements, from the plastics to the tissue paper to the baskets, all of those are getting more expensive.
And today's economy is difficult. You know, it's very difficult. And flowers can be really expensive.
Customers like Gretchen Severson are feeling the price hikes, opting to buy wholesale to save.
You're really getting a lot for your money. I know it really does fluctuate, but this is the best I've seen so far.
Vendors say they are working with people's budgets.
Last year we used to do like more big ones, a bit more expensive, but now we're like, let's do more smaller so people could be like, reasonable prices. I mean, it doesn't have to be a big arrangement to make your mom happy.
Vendors say hurricanes in Florida in recent years are also having long-term impacts on the floral industry, driving up prices on flowers they source from that state. In Los Angeles, I'm Maribel Gonzalez.
Semifinal showdown on the diamond. Cameron has the latest on Oklahoma State's conference tournament run. That's coming up next in sports.
Now, the News Channel 8 Sports Desk.
Big change coming to the TU softball program. The university's athletic department announcing this evening it will not be renewing its contract with head coach Chrissy Strimple. This comes after back-to-back losing campaigns for the Golden Hurricane, with their most recent coming to an end in the second round of the American Conference Tournament earlier this week. Strimple spending 21 years with the program both as a player and a coach, and wraps up after 7 seasons in charge. Meanwhile, year 11 for Oklahoma State's Kenny Gajewski still going strong. The Cowgirls back in action at Devon Park tonight for a Big 12 semifinal showdown against Arizona State, led once again by Ruby Malin there following her complete game shutout in the quarters. But the Sun Devils quickly getting the better of her tonight. They rattle off 6 runs in the top of the second, 3 of which coming off one swing by Tanya Wendell, as Malin would see an early end to her night. Arizona State going up as many as 8 in the 5th until home half of the inning. The Cowgirls bringing out the rally hats, back within 6 before Amanda Hassler. Next play here would line one out to right field for the 2 RBI single, make it a 10-6 game. But Arizona State with the immediate answer, a home run, putting them up 11-6 in the top of the 7th. The Oklahoma City Thunder with another big win at home last night, took down the Lakers 125-107 in Game 2 of the Western Conference semifinals, where a lot of the conversation since then has been on the quality of officiating. Both sides suggesting it could have been a little bit better after an especially physical battle. Lakers, though, perhaps just a little bit more vocal about it. Meanwhile, OKC saying for better or for worse, it's all part of the game.
My interactions with the officials between me and them, I had plenty to say to them, but I'm going to keep it there. And I thought our team did a really good job of staying present and just focusing on the next controllable. And we just played it possession by possession.
It just makes the game more fun. Like, certain things get let go that usually don't. And it's just basketball at the end of the day. So yeah, it's just like, this time of year is just purest form of the sport and of the game, and I definitely I love this form of it for sure.
Well, we'll see what kind of physicality there is in Game 3. That'll be Saturday night at 7:30, and that one is going to be in Los Angeles. So imagine a little bit more hostile.
Yeah, it'll be a good game. All right, finally for us, it's nearly Mother's Day, and one of the biggest decisions for any new mom is to pick a name. And we now know which baby names were the most popular in 2025. For girls, Olivia came in first, Charlotte second. For boys, Liam, Noah, Oliver, and Theodore. And those were unchanged. Our producer, Noah, he checked for us. Cameron ranks 454th. Kirsten, we did not crack the top 1,000 and thus did not get a ranking.
Wow. Was it Cameron specifically spelled with an R-Y-N? That's the question. Okay, I'm hearing yes. That's surprising. Wow.
No surprise about us.
No, Kirsten and Britta, yeah, I know. A little less popular, I guess.
From everyone here on Lookout Mountain, that does it for us.